Dude, look at this, man.
Oh, man.
Old military knuckle, dude. It's crazy, huh?
It certainly is.
So we're at Motorcyclepedia today, and me and Jason are walking around and just getting some inspiration from all the beautiful bikes they have here. Getting a lot of really cool stuff that hopefully we can use on the EOD bike. That seat.
It's got the catch, man.
Yeah.
You twist a little bit too much.
We've found cool ideas for bars. Really cool on the JDs, how they notch the tanks and sit lower. That'd be kind of cool, huh? We could cut that tank out and drop it over that pan head.
Sink it nice and low.
Yeah, dude. I like that. For the gas tank on the EOD Warrior Foundation bike, we wanted to do something that was a little bit beefier, a little bit bigger than a classic chopper or bobber style tank.
You know, because the bike is military, it should be kind of rough, rugged.
The first thing we need to do on this gas tank is we need to get our sides made. It's going to be the cutaway so that it sits nice and low. I've never done a tank that's tucked this low over the motors, and so kind of new territory for me. I love making gas tanks. It's just something that ever since I started shaping and building bikes is just the most passionate part to me, and I always felt like the most important part of it as well. Yeah, it's gonna be cool. I like it.
For the EOD Warrior Foundation project, we want to do something really cool with the air cleaner. Their logo is so cool. It's this bomb with this lightning bolt and this heart. It's a very cool and very significant logo. So basically, to get started, I have to transform it into digital space and do a 3D modeling of it. After that, I can go to the water jet out my stock, which is what the part is actually going to be, and then I can start letting the chips fly.
So I've made both sides, and that's the trickiest part. You gotta shape these sides, you gotta get them the same. You really have to make sure that that's spot on. Otherwise, when you go to fit it together, it's just not gonna come together right. The EOD slogan is initial success or total failure. And so when I first heard that slogan, I immediately connected with it. It's kind of ironic being here now with this build because this is just what happened with me with my move for Colorado and coming to be a part of this team. I never imagined in my life I would ever move to New York. In fact, I've actually said that a couple of times. I'd never moved to New York. So here we are.
Josh is a guy that I met on Instagram. You know, I was checking out his work for a while, and he was really doing stuff that I like to do back in the day, only 100 years more advanced.
I was doing this kind of old rustic patina style of a bike, you know, everything handcrafted. You know, that's kind of what I was known for. So I woke up one morning and I had an Instagram message, and it was from Paul Sr. I honestly thought it was just like a fake account, so I blew it off. Me and my wife kind of laughed. Well, the next day we were hanging out, and I saw it again and clicked and went to his profile and got the blue mark, a bunch of followers, and I was like, I think this is Senior. So I responded back to him, and we messaged back and forth for a couple times. And then it was like, well, it's time to make a phone call. And as soon as you hear him on the phone, it was like, this is Senior. This is real, you know?
You know, the initial reason why I reached out to Josh is because of his work. But when he came aboard, it really was his work ethics.
He flew me down. I did the Spartan bike. I was supposed to just basically do a tank, ended up doing a lot more than that. We got along great, we hit it off.
Somebody that really cares about your brand, cares about you, that's really hard to find in a person today.
I felt like we had so much in common. You know, once I got to sit down with Senior, see the real Senior, you know, who he was in his past, his experience with bikes, what he actually liked to do, we're one of the same. Senior was always an old school chopper guy. He was an old school bike guy in general, you know, BSAs, Nortons, Triumphs, Harleys. But I had no idea. You know, a lot of people don't know that about him. They only know him from TV. And so he's so much more than the show.
You know, 20 years ago, OCC was like it was an overnight success, and it was overwhelming, and you know, we were going in all different directions. The big bikes, the big round frames, the 300 tires.
And when they started doing it, no one was really doing that. And it was violently successful.
In the last 20 years, the motorcycle industry changed quite a bit. It's back to old school, it's back to nostalgic, and that's the direction that we're taking the company now.
I think right now the OCC is on that kind of teeter-totter moment.
Things have changed drastically, and there's a saying that says change or die.
You know, this is something that we want to do together, and you know, my passion for bikes, his passion for bikes. I'm not just here for a show or a season. I am here to be a part of the family and try to push this forward.
For me to finally get somebody like that to bring aboard, I think there's more of a bond there than a partnership.
We see this vision and we see where it can go. You got to become relevant. You got to stay relevant. And I think if we continue to do that, this brand will live on. I'm Josh, and you're watching Digital Builds on OCC+.
Make sure you hit subscribe so you don't miss out.